Today we are going to be talking about the issue of schools not doing enough to help students' mental health. According to the National Alliance on Mental Health, approximately 1 in 5 children ages 13 to 18 experiences a severe mental disorder at some point during their life. Also, suicide is the third leading cause of death in teenagers. These numbers have increased as students are faced with more stress and responsibilities in their school and personal life. This is clearly a problem that needs to be addressed. An easy solution seems to be going to the school-provided counselors or therapy sessions. However, many schools' treatment centers are very ineffective. School guidance counselors have too many administrative duties and not enough time to meet with all the students who need them. One of their main duties in high schools is to help students apply for colleges or careers after high school. An Ohio high school counselor, Lori Gill Hughes, says her duties include telling students about scholarships, making sure they turn their applications in on time, assisting failing students, planning next year's schedules, overseeing state testing, and planning orientation and graduation ceremonies. None of these include helping students with their personal mental health issues. Also, many school counselors do not even have an adequate training to help students with mental illnesses. Another issue with school guidance counselors is that many of them have so many students that they do not have time for all of them, or they have too many students to have a personal relationship with them. Some students are able to seek treatment outside of school, but not all students have this option, considering it takes time and money. A solution to this problem will be to have a required counseling class period in all high schools. It is clearly unrealistic that during this class, all students would be personally counseled, but there are other ways to help with mental illnesses. Studies show that exercise has an amazing positive impact on mental health. Exercise helps especially with depression, anxiety, and ADHD. Additionally, exercise lowers stress, increases memory, and helps you sleep better, all things that high school students could benefit from. Students already are required to take a traditional gym class, so this class would be different. This class would focus specifically on exercise that benefit mental health. For example, aerobic exercise helps with depression and anxiety because it increases blood circulation in the brain. More specific exercises include yoga, running, dancing, and Tai Chi. Yoga is very focused on deep breathing and internal focus, which relaxes people, helping with anxiety and depression. Running releases endorphins that make the body feel good, helping with depression. Dancing relieves stress and anxiety. People can dance in many different ways, making it helpful to all students. Dance is also a form of self-expression, so students can connect with themselves and others through dance. Tai Chi comes from China and combines Chinese martial arts with meditative movements. This includes muscle relaxation, physical balance, mental concentration, and relaxed breathing, all of which help with depression, anxiety, and stress management. These classes would have different units so that all students would have benefits at some point. Some may argue that high school students do not have enough time in their schedule for another required course. However, it would only be for a semester, and the long-term benefits outweigh the short-term cost of another required class. Meditation and other stress reduction techniques have been studied as possible treatments for depression and anxiety, but yoga has not had as much attention before recently. Yoga is becoming more and more popular. According to one national survey, about 7.5% of US adults have tried yoga at least once. Yoga classes can be very different, from gentle and accommodating to strenuous and challenging. The style is based on physical ability and personal preference. The most common type of yoga practiced in the United States is called Hatha yoga, and it combines 3 elements: physical poses, controlled breathing, and a short period of deep relaxation and meditation. Yoga can reduce the impact of exaggerated stress responses and can be helpful for both anxiety and depression. By reducing perceived stress and anxiety, yoga modulates stress response systems, which decreases physiological arousal. It also increases heart rate variability, which helps the body respond to stress better. Yoga may not be safe for everyone, especially the elderly or patients with mobility problems, so they should check with a clinician before choosing yoga. Yoga is a relatively low-risk, high-yield approach to improving patients dealing with depression, anxiety, or stress. The first pose I'm going to show is called the fish pose. You sit with your legs in lotus position and slowly lower your back towards the ground. Then, you lean your neck back and try to let your head touch the ground. This pose helps regulate emotions and provide a sense of well-being. The next pose I'm going to show is called the corpse pose. In this pose, you just lie on your back and keep your legs apart with your arms lying to your sides. The next pose is called child's pose. In child's pose, you sit with your heels touching on your knees and lean forward. You hold this pose for 2 to 3 minutes, and it stretches out the lower back and hips, which helps relieve stress and fatigue. The next pose I'm going to show is called the cobra pose. For the cobra pose, you lie with your feet behind you and raise your chest up to the ceiling. This pose increases energy and decreases anxiety. The next poses I'm going to show are the warrior pose and reverse warrior pose. For the warrior pose, you bring your left leg behind you and lunge forward on your right leg. Then you bring your arms over your head, stretch up, and bring them down in prayer position. To do reverse warrior pose, you reach your arms up and reach your left arm back. These poses fight anxiety and depression. The next pose I'm going to show is called downward facing dog. To do downward facing dog, you lean forward and bring your body out to an inverted V, stretching behind your legs. Yoga is an exercise for everyone, so you should practice these poses to the best of your ability. Practicing these poses and deep breathing exercises that go along with yoga can help reduce anxiety, depression, and stress.